All right. So I have a little bit of a tangent. Small one.
Uh-huh.
On the topic of the saving throws. I wish that 5th edition put more of the impetus for rolling on players. You know?
How do you mean?
So in the same way that Powered by the Apocalypse is like, you know, oh, I'm going to oh god, what's the like I'm just gonna use Monster Hearts. The idea is like, oh yeah, I'm going to lash out physically. Right? Like in the Rocks Fall thing, I want the barbarian to go, can I make a strength save to catch the boulder as it falls as opposed to dodge it? You know?
I see. You're saying you want D&D to give a little more power, a little more control over how the players directly respond to stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than simply the GM say, roll me this, roll me that. Yeah. I think there's a weird how do I want to phrase it? There's a bit of an argument there, I guess. I don't, maybe argument's not the right word, but there's a thing there where some people are like, no, the game or the GM has to ask for everything. And some people are like, no, the players should be able to state what they're trying to do. That's definitely a debate, a back and forth that's been had. And I don't know. I don't know if I fall on 100% one side or the other. I mean, I guess I prefer a little bit more the Apocalypse World idea there of the players kind of stating how they tackle a problem. I guess that's really what it is, right? The idea of players saying how they tackle a problem rather than just stating, I deal with the problem, and that agency and how the game allows it, right? Because technically, rules as written, if a player attacks with a sword, you roll with your strength to attack. But if the player describes some sort of way, they're like, well, what if I like twirl around the guy and try to quick draw my blade and like stab him in the back quietly? Like, can I roll dex for that? Like rules as written, no, but maybe a GM could kind of be like, well, if you describe kind of your approach, maybe, yeah, it would be interesting for 5e to give room for that. It's just not that kind of a game, I think, is the problem.
Well, so my rebuttal is that it can be. And players want it to be.
It can be.
More often than not, players want that. Because you get the aforementioned example of, oh, well, actually, can I try this thing? And then you go, well, no, not really. So, like, it's a situation, we both agree, 5th edition puts way too much onus on the GM to have answers for fucking everything, and not enough tools for the players to make those conclusions on their own, right?
I think 5th edition puts too much onus on the GM for a lot of fucking things.
Yeah, right. Agreed. So, rather, if the game just straight up told the players,
describe your approach.
Describe your approach. And this would absolutely fundamentally shift the balance on the saving throws.
It would, yeah. It might be a bad... it would certainly shift things up. I don't know if it'd be good or bad, but it would certainly shift things up.
Well, so like, for monster stat blocks, you can keep those the way they're supposed to be, right? Dragon's Fire will always do a dex. That's fine. But outside of that, a lot of abilities, as we know, it's the dex, wisdom, charisma. But if you made traps something that you could solve with strength or dex, this kind of goes back to give me the Pathfinder fortitude. What is it?
The 3 saving throws. Fortitude, reflex, and willpower saves.
Yeah. Like in a similar vein of like, you can effectively recreate the simplicity of that by giving players options. And obviously, right, in the situation of Rock's Fall, you can't be like, oh, can I fucking try to seduce the boulder? But if you're playing a psionic sorcerer, you're right, okay, maybe can I do a charisma save to like do the Yoda force catch of the fucking boulder as it's falling? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the thing you're asking for is basically how Defy Danger works in Dungeon World.
Yeah.
Because Defy Danger, it says when you act despite an imminent threat or suffer a calamity, say how you deal with it and roll. If you do it, and then it says ... by powering through, roll plus strength. If you do it by getting out of the way or acting fast, roll plus dex. If you do it by enduring, roll plus con. If you do it with quick thinking, roll plus int. So yeah, you're talking about like the Defy Danger style ability. And
hear me out. Because 5th edition thinks it's so fucking clever with its dynamic difficulty system. You can just tell players, okay, this is a situation where maybe you can't conjure up enough of your internal abilities to use the force on the boulder. It's falling fast enough. So maybe the skill check's a little bit higher for you. Or, maybe it's something where you're dodging incoming arrow fire. Okay, well, you can use strength to like batter the arrows out of the way. Sure, you're just gonna have a higher roll.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that room is there. You just have to kind of. Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about that more. I'm sure you could kind of slap that onto. Technically, that would be homebrewing 5e, but it's not homebrewing it really that much, right? You're still operating within the bounds of the mechanics. So you're kind of doing what I'm saying, where you're looking at the base mechanics now that you've run the game for a while and going, all right, how can I push and pull these a bit? So yeah, it's within, I mean, it's a sort of mini homebrew because it isn't super rules as written, but it's not so much of a homebrew that it feels like a totally new rule.